started out strong, had 7 girls that were healthy and able to run. We've had some kids injured, kids sick with all the stuff that's going around. So this last meet when we were at miles, we didn't even have enough for a team. So that's the first meet where we didn't have that. But as far as the girls doing well, they're getting better, they're getting stronger, they're starting to get a little more confidence. I know people don't like to run and people don't like to hurt. And, I tell them it's okay to do both. And I've got some kids that are kind of starting to believe in that and buy in. They're still a little bit hesitant, but as long as we can get them on board and show them that they've got some success, they're kind of getting to where they don't mind, and they're pushing themselves a little bit more, and that's what makes me happy. Because even if we don't come out number 1 at a meet, as long as our kids are getting better and they're showing improvement and they're excited, that's a success. This is my 5th year to coach cross country. I've coached at some other places. Where I came from last year was Morton, up near Lubbock, and again it was a little drier, a little dustier, and definitely flatter. So here I love having the hills. When I drove up for my interview, I love just driving through town. It's like, this is a perfect town for cross country. And the community has been wonderful. I've had so much parent support. There's parents of kiddos that I know who they are now. Last year I didn't have very many parents come, and we'd go to meets and there'd be 1 or 2, and so there were parents I never even saw. But here it's totally different. There's just so much involvement, and they're so excited for their kids. And that is good, because cross country should be treated just as equally as basketball and football. Again, I know people are like, who wants to stand around and watch kids run? Well, if that's a kid's gift and that's what they're good at, then we need to be sharing that success and cheering them on just as well as we do with football and basketball. And I'm a runner, so I'm kind of biased on that. I try to come up with things that help the kids enjoy practice instead of just being go out and run. So some of the things that I brought here is scavenger hunts. And so we've gone on a couple of scavenger hunts in town, and I've had to drive around and kind of see where things are and kind of figure out how the distance is, that way they can get a good workout in. And so that I give the group, split them into groups, give them a list and go. And they're very competitive about it, and it's been pretty funny. And there's been some times when we've gone on a scavenger hunt, some groups have kept taking a really long time, and so by the time they get back, it's like, what happened? And they said they got completely lost. And I'm like, how do you get lost in Mertzen, Texas? You grew up here, so I don't understand how you got lost. There's been times that we've gone to the football field, and they hate doing this one workout. It's 4 800s, and you do the first 600 just at a jog, and then the last one you got to kick in at a 200. And they will beg me and like try to negotiate, can we do a different workout or can we cut it down? And it's like, let's see, how about this instead? And then of course it's like, they'll kind of get together as a group and be like, well, they'll kind of counter, well, can we do this instead? And it's like, no, it's this, or we can go back to this. Okay, well, we'll take that. So, we try to keep it fun, and I try to keep it that's something that they're going to like. But again, we still got to get that workout in. But they're a pretty funny group, because they will kind of try to negotiate and get things down so it's not quite as hard. So our district meet is coming up on October 11th, and we will be hosting. One of the things that I proposed to Coach Connor, and he said it's up to me, was to have the high school run in the morning and the junior high in the afternoon instead of high school running at 2 o'clock or 2:30, because again, you never really know with the weather what it's going to be like. And where I was last year, we ran in the morning and then the junior high in the afternoon. So when I emailed the coaches around here, I had a couple of coaches agree, and some coaches never responded. So this year, high school will run at 9 and 9:30, and then the junior high is going to run at 4 and 4:30 in the afternoon. To prepare for that, we'll be going down to the creek a little bit more. We've just been there one time. The other times it's been raining and muddy. So that way they can get a little bit more familiar with the course, even though I know they are, because they live here. Because to me, that's just a big advantage to having that down there, that they can do that. And as far as what I'm hoping for, we've been at meets with pretty much everybody in our district except for Bront, but Bront doesn't have a very big team. And so based on what we've had, we are behind Blackwell and Garden City. And so we're looking at a strong third. But if we will work on getting our times down a little bit more, we can get that second place position. I'm not sure right now if we can get our first place position, but we can definitely knock somebody out for a second. So that's my goal, is to get the team qualified for the regional meet. And for the boys, on the boys side, I'm hoping that we can get some individual qualifiers, since we just have 2.
I think Coach Moorhead, she makes it a lot easier for us to do cross country, just because she jokes around with us a lot in the mornings, and it makes the experience a little more fun. And especially when we're at the meets, before we're starting, she's always joking around with us, and it makes it a lot more easier to do the races and the meets, because they're terrible, not gonna lie.
Every morning, when we're walking up, we're always so tired and like dead, nothing going through our heads. And she always tells us good morning every morning. And then she starts conversations with us the whole morning until the alarm goes off for us to start running. And that always like wakes us up.
I would definitely say bus rides are kind of the most intimidating but funnest because we can get away with a lot of stuff until it's dangerous. But she just lets us all have a lot of fun, and there's no really restrictions to being who you are.
We love it. Not. This year's been pretty good. My times have been getting better and better as the season has progressed. And, you know, I was out last year. I had a foot injury, and so I wasn't able to help my team move forward from that. I did start out pretty strong my freshman year. I went to state with Audrey Tillman. And I think progressing into this year, I've been getting stronger and stronger over the off season, and I'm just ready to go back to state.
This season has been a lot of fun for me. I did cross country my freshman year, but I absolutely ended up hating it in the end. But for some reason, I decided to do it again this year, and I'm very happy I did. I really enjoy it actually, which is pretty weird, but it's whatever. But right now, I haven't been able to run for the past 3 meets, I think, because of an injury, but I'm hoping to be back for district, and I'm excited for that.
This season has gone really well. We've started out really strong, and we've only gotten stronger. Every course is different, but compare it to every other meet, and times are getting better throughout everyone. And we've just all been a really strong girls team, and boys don't have enough as a team, but they've been doing really good too. Freshman year is your time to shine, but I didn't really get a chance to shine my freshman year as well. I was out with a foot injury, and so I also didn't get to run with my brother his senior year, but I'm hoping to prove that my sophomore year can also be a good year as my freshman year, and just move forward and get stronger.
I would say what I usually eat before a game is pastas or like chicken. Just try to avoid like beef because it's so heavy on your stomach, and I think my mom does a good job of cooking meals for me like that. So
Mine is the exact same as Berkley's.
I love pizza, so pizza's my go-to before the race meal.
I would say what goes to my mind during the last part of the race is I just have to keep pushing and keep going. You're almost there, almost done with this race, and but also like my competitive side, like do not let anyone pass me. Like no one needs to pass me on the last part of the race because everyone is watching, and that would be embarrassing. So that's all. Yeah, that's what goes to my mind.
For me, the last part of the race is the absolute worst part because, like, no matter how close I am to crossing the line, it always seems like it's the farthest I've been the whole time. Like, even from the start, I feel closer to the finish than the last 100 meters because we have to go so fast at the very end. I just hate it, and I just hate it. That's all I have for the last part of it.
I would definitely say when I start out the race, I kind of think to myself that, like, the faster you run, the faster you'll get done, but it doesn't always happen that way. And so when I get to the last 400 meters, it's just like, don't let anyone pass you and try to pass someone else, and if you don't, then you're already accomplished because you didn't get passed by anyone else. So that's all. Please edit that out.